Life as We Know It with Tom Walton.
Some 124 years ago, in April of 1898, a letter arrived on the desk of President William McKinley at the White House. It came from a woman named Phoebe Moses, who, like McKinley, was a native Ohioan. She had been born in 1860 in Darke County near the Indiana line. Miss Moses was aware that the president was contemplating a declaration of war on Spain in what would become known as the Spanish-American War. She told McKinley that she wanted to volunteer her services in the war effort if it came. She also said that she had another 50 women ready to join with her to fight the enemy. Like most Americans, the women were outraged by the explosion of the USS Maine and the loss of most of the crew in Cuban waters just a few weeks earlier. "Remember the Maine" became a national battle cry. Though there was no proof that Spain was responsible for the tragedy, neither did most people consider it just a terrible accident. President McKinley put out a call for 125,000 volunteers who would serve in a variety of capacities if war were to be declared. That's all Phoebe Moses needed to hear. She wanted to be part of it. The president was impressed enough to send her letter to the War Department for its consideration. Alas, gender bias got in the way, as it often does even today. Women were not allowed to serve in the military in 1898, so Miss Moses' offer was declined. The war turned out to be fairly brief, at least relative to today's seemingly endless conflicts, but it might have been even shorter had the War Department relented and allowed Miss Moses and her friends to join the effort. Let me share her actual letter to the president, and you'll understand what I mean. To the Honorable William McKinley, President, dear sir, I, for one, feel confident that your good judgment will carry America safely through without war. But in case of such an event, I am ready to place a company of 50 lady sharpshooters at your disposal. Every one of them will be an American, and as they will furnish their own arms and ammunition, will be of little of any expense to the government. Very truly yours. However, she did not sign her letter with her birth name of Phoebe Ann Moses because the president would have had no clue who she was. Instead, she signed her letter with the name she was known by worldwide, Annie Oakley. Yes, Annie Oakley, globally famous as a performer and sharpshooter and a marksman, or should I say markswoman, who taught thousands of women how to handle a gun, had at age 38 tried to go to war in defense of her country. Even though her offer was rejected, Teddy Roosevelt named his volunteer cavalry in the Spanish-American War the Rough Riders, partially in tribute to Buffalo Bill's Wild West and Congress of Rough Riders of the World, a show which starred Annie, or, if you prefer, Phoebe Moses of Darke County, Ohio.
Life as We Know It is written and hosted by Tom Walton and is a production of WGTE Public Media. Life as We Know It with Tom Walton can be heard on WGTE FM 91 every Monday afternoon during All Things Considered at 5:44 p.m. Or hear past episodes at wgte.org/life.